Yes, we are live now, chef.
Okay.
Okay, great. Good morning, everyone. A chef who needs no introduction, known in the field of culinary by the name of Thinking Chef, accomplished chef, Chef Sujan Sarkar. Thank you so much for coming in. We'll give you all a brief about him. He's the co-founder of the two most exciting restaurants.
Once I do not call my wife, I will go off.
5 locations
Just putting
in
in
the
cash.
United States and one in Delhi, in India. He continues to explore, understand, and reimagine what the future of Indian food can be by experimenting with new possibilities and stretching the boundaries of traditional Indian cuisine. His first restaurant in the USA is called Rue, which opened in early 2017 at San Francisco and is already one of the most critically acclaimed Indian restaurants not only in San Francisco but in the entire country. A stunning 3-star review from San Francisco Chronicle and winner of the Best New Restaurant 2017 by GDRA, that's Golden Gate Restaurant Association. Rue takes Rue to one of the most acclaimed restaurants in the country. Soon after Rue gains its popularity in the West Coast, he opened the first Indian gastro bar called Bar Bar in New York. Consequently, Rue opened in New Delhi, Chicago, Columbus, and Palo Alto. Rue Chicago is listed as one of the top 28 restaurants by Chicago Tribune. Before crossing the Atlantic, he was also voted Time Chef of the Year 2016 and International Chef of the Year by Elite Magazine in India. In the year 2014, he first get a chance to experiment with Indian cuisine outside the country. That came as an opportunity to conceive, create, and launch a unique concept that is now famously known as Transcend in Dubai. After working for more than a decade with a few big names and Michelin star restaurants in London, things started to get exciting when he became head chef at Automat London in 2017. And in the shortest time, he opened gates to Almada in Mayfair, making it one of the most exclusive hideouts for celebrities. He has worked with a lot of Michelin star chefs, as I say. He's also been working as a chef de cuisine at flagship restaurants of the renowned Olive Bar and Kitchen in Delhi and Bombay. That's where he started as an executive chef. Uh, uh, he opened India's first artisanal cocktail bar called Egg Bar in 2015, which took the city by the storm and was voted as the best new cocktail bar in the world by Condé Nast Traveler and many more. Chef, it's a great pleasure to have you with us today. Chef Sujan will be speaking on food styling and planning a menu. Chef, without any delay, will hand it over the stage to you. But before that, we have to have a small 3 or 4 minutes video that we want our attendees to see so that they get an idea what your cuisine is all about, what you actually. Chef Sunil, please.
Hi, I'm Chef Sujan, head chef at Baba, New York City. Josh, is altogether mixed kind of big prawn dog. That's very my dish.
There's modern in the West Loop thanks to Rue Restaurant.
What is dreaming? I always so spirit.
And you have a lot of soul spirit.
Well, here,
Pouring your soul spirit into the food.
yeah, that's other.
Chef Sunil, I guess there is some issue with the video. I guess we'll stop it here because
Okay, Chef.
Yes.
okay, it's fine.
Almost 9 hours day in, day out.
Was the video cracking or something? Chef, you're live now? Sorry, Chef?
I think there was a mix-up of 2-3 sounds, Chef.
Yes, it's okay, Chef. It happens with the technology when we are working with it, so it's fine. Actually, we have the man himself, so I guess we have to hear it from him directly, so we don't have to rely on technology. So, Chef, would first like to introduce you to our dean, Professor Dr. Garita Prakash. So she's the dean for Patel Hotel and Tourism Business School. Ma'am, please.
Good morning, sir. And I won't take a lot of time. It's just an immense honor and an immense pleasure to have you on our virtual platform of our school. And as Lauro sir had already said, his wife has said that you're the best chef. And not only that, I think so. I didn't have the fortune to work with you ever, but the kind of work that you have done, it inspires us day in and day out. A very warm welcome to you, chef, and it's a pleasure to have you. Thank you.
Chef, you're on mute, I guess.
It's something like this. I've done a lot of things in life. Just I've done recipes, home cooked, but I stay, a little bit out of this because I'm not good in talking like this. But I think it would be really helpful if you ask me a question and I answer. If I just talking, I don't know which way. So the last time I've done something not on web, but it was in when I was there last year. I think in January. I forgot. That was really great. A lot of students there. They came and we talked about it. They loved it. So that's really good. I've done that before, but now hardly I get a chance to do that. And when I'm in India, it's really short trips. So it will be really good. If you ask me a question and anything, then you can guide me through because I don't really know which level your, students are, what they really want to know. Otherwise, I'll talk something maybe, it will be may not make any sense. So that's what I want to, just because.
Great, chef. So I guess I'll Dora sir, if you could please speak a few lines, because I guess you know the chef personally.
Yeah, so I'm very happy to see Chef here. It's been years actually that I have not, met him. Now he's gone. He's, traveling and very successful. I'm very happy to to be in this school and that you can come today and give us your inputs. I'm a lucky guy because I've had your food. Personally, I think you really have reshaped the restaurant, Olive Bar and Kitchen when you were the head chef there. I think it needed some kind of somebody to come and do something, and you did it wonderfully. And I think since then it's been very very successful. I was at the beginning of Egg Bar. I actually, my wife is work with Sujan, so I had the pleasure to be invited to all the food tasting. So I was really spoiled at the time, and I really enjoyed the cuisine. So I think you're doing a wonderful job. I mean, and I think you've done very good because of that way the way you cook, and you put your heart into it. And I think it's wonderful to promote Indian food outside of India also, and the way you do it, with this kind of a modern approach to it. I think it's fantastic. I think it's good to have ambassadors from India that go to the world and say that guys, we can cook too, because maybe some people don't know that. And I think that's really fantastic. So I hope you carry on and you open as many restaurants as possible, so you can you can make your country proud and make everybody happy who is one day eating your food. So very warm welcome from everyone here. And we're really happy to have you, and all the best for the future.
Thank you.
Cheers, chef.
Thank you very much.
So, chef, we have in the attendees eminent chefs too, but we have a lot of students who wanted to learn
Right.
food styling and how to plate a dish and
Right.
how to actually come up with a menu. So let's start from the styling of the food. What all it takes. If you could just share few techniques to how to plate a food in a better way. There are students from IHMs from all over the hospitality colleges in and around India. So they just want to hear you about how you plate your food in your restaurants. Please, chef, over to you.
Right. So, I would say I've started, when I started, I started from JW Marriott in Mumbai. That time it was pre-opening team. And I've done my hotel school from IHM Bhubaneswar, where they train you to be an amazing chef or cook. But I'm talking about 2002. Most of us were more interested to do something called continental cooking, not Indian. But I end up doing Indian because I think that's the training what I got there. But that's why when I was in JW Marriott, what I used to do before plating, why I'm telling you all this, because that you understand, plating is the end product, right? But before that, everything should be right to get in there. So I used to work in the daytime, of course, and the nighttime I used to have a small camera. And I used to go into all the fridges and pick up things. And then I used to do my dishes and I used to take pictures. That was when I just started, it was never thought what I'm going to do, what is not. And while I was working there, first time, one of my chefs, he mentioned about Michelin star. I didn't even know what does that mean. Then I started looking into, because there is not much of videos and all this that time, right? You have to really look for it. Then I started, of course, looking at magazines, because JW, they used to get a lot of international magazines. Before, when I was in hotel school, I was really good in theory, to be very honest. I used to sleep, and Larus used to be my pillow, to be very honest. I used to know theoretical stuff, but the plating and the new technique, it was then I used to read all these magazines, because as I said, JW, they used to get a lot of magazines from US, from UK. I remember the first time I've seen the Caterer magazine there, and I used to look into it and I was just like, oh my God, what are these? Then I got an opportunity to move to UK, and I think that's changed everything. And not only moved to UK, I started working in Michelin star restaurants there. So what I want to say, as I said, the plating is the end product. Before that, what is going into the plate has to be that precise to do something, right? So again, coming back there, your theoretical knowledge should be as good as your practical knowledge. You need both. So if you look into my plating, there is nothing random, because something else I should mention. 2005, when I was in UK, that time I've done a course, a 2-week course in Westminster Kingsway College. It was kind of a short-term course, 2 hours and all this stuff, based on molecular gastronomy. And then I started working with a company called MSK in UK. They used to develop all these ingredients. So I used to go to their workshop, not in the workshop, their factory, to their demo kitchen to learn more. And then I end up started selling those products. So what happened is I really got a grip of it. It's not just doing a gel or doing some bubbles or like this, because you have to understand why those things are important. Those are the basics. Now we talk about how you plate. To be very honest, I don't really think about it anymore. I work with when I'm in India, and trust me, my best work so far in India. You know why? Because when I'm in India, I have to work harder. That's why after I left London, I was doing really well. To be very honest, I left everything. I went back to India, worked there 3 years, then Dubai, came back. US, but again, I went back to India to open Roo there. People telling me, why not that? You can open so many restaurants around the world. Why not India? Why India? I think, India, the potential we have in India, the people, I think about the future chefs, our cooking heritage, our story. That's me, that's us. I as I said, 11 years in London, I never picked up an accent. My English is still like as good.
Chef, I guess there is something. Chef, we couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you too.
Yes, now it's fine, Chef.
You can hear me now?
Yes, Chef. Please carry on.
Yeah. So what I meant, in India, when I first started with Olive, after coming from London, there was a big void, right? There is nothing there. Then 2 weeks, I was completely, I don't know what to do, to be very honest. I took a leap of faith. I came there, basically came back to India, opened my Indian restaurant. That was not happening. So I was with Olive, of course, we were working with to upgrade how the menu and everything. Trust me, that was the hardest time of my career because I want to do something new. I want to showcase what I have done, but then I had nothing much. Then I have to really dig deep and speaking to people, going around it. But then I came across so many people. I know I should mention so many people. Some people, they were just going for themselves. And they started giving me ingredients. Until you get the produce, you get this, why you get excited looking into a plate? Because of the color, because of the new ingredients, because something which is a mistake. What is you don't know? You don't know what is on the plate, but it looks beautiful. Then that can only happen if you have that quality ingredients, the new ingredients. But then I started looking into it, and I was lucky enough because I had Olive Delhi and Olive Bombay, and also I can travel. The Olive, they give me really free hand to travel around and understand the produce and everything. So that was the start. Then when you open testing lab, that changed the game in terms of plating and presentation. So now I come to when I do any plating, what I follow. Trust me, I follow my instinct. Every time I do photo shoot, but one thing is common now, the photographer. It's very important. You have to work with someone who is good, but also a lot of patience. I do send this maybe 10 times. At the longest we have shot so far, it was in Olive, it's almost 13 hours at a stretch. 13 hours. And my photographer, he's changed his socks at least 3 to 4 times because he was climbing up and down. It was really humid. So, each and everything has to be precise. Now, I should admit one thing. When you do a photo shoot or presentation, that is different than when you do real plating, right? So what's the difference? Sometimes you have to fake it. But of course, I'm not talking about shaving foam, putting on the plate. Whatever in my food are all real. You can get the exact same ingredients, same looks when you eat. Of course, depends on when you post in social media, and that also the responsibility to you as well. You should take a good picture. Sometimes people, they don't do that. They put whatever they want. But whatever I post on my Instagram or whatever I do, my food which is done by any photographer, you will get if you're eating the same dish, you will get the same component or the same way of presentation and all this. That I maintain. So I don't fake. Number one, you should not fake because people will understand. Maybe 70% people may not, but 30%, and that is, I think, that is wrong. So that's the first part of it. Now, as I said, when you create something, it has to be precise. How? So you need some skill. Suppose you are doing a terrain, you are doing a roulade, you are doing a foam, you are doing a mousse, you are doing a bubble, you are doing a gel, you are doing a fluid gel. You can do hundreds of things, but it has to be precise. One thing I would say, you look at any picture of how you put your dot, I can tell you are professional. That much knowledge, I'm doing it for a long time because, as I said, all theoretical knowledge and to understand the gastronomy, that is very important. And now the new way of presentation is you don't show everything. You give people to guess what is going on. What is that? Suppose I put something called milk. There is no milk in that. But people get confused. What is this? Then the excitement comes. So I give you a simple example. I was doing something, it's at New Delhi. It's called chai khabo. So basically, in Bengali, we eat tea as well, right? We eat everything khabo, jal khabo, chai khabo, everything. So I wanted to create something. When you look at it, you literally pick up and eat. So then I created a tea foam, which is dehydrated tea foam. Literally, you pick up and eat, you melt in your mouth and give a sense of tea. But you look at the presentation, it's just like a rusk, what you eat with tea as well.
Yes.
Nothing, just a little bit of tea gel on the plate. So then people started thinking, what is that? It's just tea. So you play with the mind, kind of what you think your thought process has to be done. But also, I do a lot of classic plating. That is also very, very important. The classic means when I cook a fish, it has to be perfect. When I do a cannoli, it has to be perfect. When I put leaves or something on the plate, it has to be perfect. So that is also very, very important. How to retain those things, like how to cook white asparagus, how to cook green asparagus. It's not the same way you cook. If you start cooking the same way, it will go. So then, which goes on a plate, the camera, you cannot fake. And when you look at any dish, when you look into it, and if you take a camera and look at this, entirely different. So something looks really exciting when you physically see the dish, or which is in front of you, which is real. But sometimes it's very difficult to plate something or make it nice, when you are taking photographs. So it's based on your background, your crockery. So I started developing my crockery in India, working with artisans there. Each and everything is very, very, very important. Also, there are a lot of components, right? Any dish, you have a main ingredients. Like if I'm doing a fish, right? That has to be. Then you have to how are you going to cook the fish? It's going to be pan-seared, it's going to be poached, it's going to be baked, it's going to be. So most of the things I do sous vide. That's to maintain the shape, color, also is cooked. So as I said, even though I'm doing for camera, I don't really put chili powder on a dessert, or I'm not going to put icing sugar on the things. So then we serve something called the sea bass, poached sea bass with alipi curry. We do a crab cannoli. We do 3 different kind of podi masala. So that goes on that, and of course a Malabar spinach. That is the dish. It's very simple and straightforward. Of course, we have different version of that. So now, if I poach a fish, it's going to be white. So my plate background, if I keep it white, it's better, but I have to play with other ingredients. So that those colors has to pop. Otherwise, it's nothing going to be exciting. Then you think about puri. So why I'm doing 3 different kind of puri to add the texture and also the color. Also, you have the alipi curry, which is more yellow in color. So altogether, so very important, your color, your texture, also highlighting your main ingredients is very important. And of course, your cooking technique. You shouldn't overcook anything. And always better when you're cooking that instead of use fat, like anything. I would say, again, if you're using melted butter, try to use clarified butter, not melted
Yes.
butter. Of course, you can that. And you should not use anything water-based things. That not gonna be give you that exciting photos or that kind of quality, right? So that is a nutshell, that's, and then you have to work with your instinct. You cannot just think about something. Okay, you draw something on your pad, you brainstorm everything, you look into your ingredients, you look into your elements. Sometimes all the elements doesn't work in one dish when you take the photographs, but it may work in a real time, right? So it's a lot of intuition, a lot of looking into books. Of course, I watch a lot of YouTube videos, follow a lot of chefs, but when I do my thing, I do my thing. I don't copy paste. I think that's why it's little unique. If you look into my dishes and if you go and check in internet, you're not going to get any reference. As simple as that. Because those are mine. But of course, I get ideas from other people. Nowadays things are changing so fast. You cannot just think, okay, I do this today, and then after 1 year I'll do something else. People want everything new on your Instagram feed. How are you gonna cope with that? So, but for me, I travel a lot. There are so many restaurants everywhere. The ingredients are the key. San Francisco, amazing ingredients. Chicago, New York, and again Delhi. Well, I think I'm lucky. So and of course, as I said, if you pay attention to those, you can create amazing dishes.
I very rightly said, Chef. I guess Suvid is getting a much needed attention. It's not just with the for retaining the shape or for cooking the exact doneness. It's all about the leftover, the actual juices of the meat that is trapped in that package, and then you can use it to give the actual flavor, or it comes as a base to these sauces. So I guess there is a lot of good things about sous vide, and I'm glad that you shared it with the students and the faculty here. So Chef, talking about styling of food, how do you come up with pairing of dish with this garnish? How do you do that? Say for example, if you're serving, like I've seen in your videos, there's this paneer pinwheel with your bell pepper makhni that you call it. How do you come up with that particular garnish? How do you is there any rule book that says that okay, on this herb or this flour will go well with it? How do you manage to do that, Chef?
Think about it. We have roux and have barbar, right? And
Yes.
presentation, styling, difference. It depends on the what restaurant I'm in. Sometimes I do very simple dish. Sometimes I do really complicated and that kind of plating. So I think if you look into the plating, the best so far gonna be of course New Delhi, because we pay that kind of attention, have an amazing team of chefs, and as I said, we go in that detail. Then of course San Francisco and Chicago, we are taking Indian food to next level step by step. So if I just come to come to a country and start doing something alien Indian food, people are going to relate to it. They don't know what is the starting point, right? So, and also my food is based on the ingredients of that area. It's very important. So sometimes I keep it very simple to the core, but of course there is a finish to it. There is something new. So I should mention, as you just said, we opened something, a new place in Palo Alto called Rue Palo Alto, of course, that based on wood fire grill, the first Indian wood fire restaurant in the world. And I, not only the food, I developed the grill as well. This is a massive grill, but think about it's nothing new. It's only the opportunity, because if you grill something, it's going to be healthier than if you fry or other things, right? And we are cooking on wood fire. So we are going back to that age when in India, most of the things used to be cooked on wood fire, right?
Yes.
So the flavors, if you do a kebab or anything. So instead of doing sheep kebab, of course, I didn't do it lamb, I do it duck. There is amazing duck from Sonoma County. So we do that in front of you on the wood fire and the flavor. But how do I present that, right? I don't present it how normally you get that. So it goes on top of an emulsion. On top of an emulsion is more with, if you go to Purani Delhi, they do the butter chicken. They put that I took inspiration from there. So I do similar kind of sauce that goes at the base. Then you have the dakshi kebab. Then on top you have fennel, you have different kind of berries, and that's how it is. Very simple. But it's not only plating or styling the food, it's about the flavor, as I said. See, sometimes people talk about that they hire food stylists to style the food. I think those are good for when you do any ad campaign or that kind of thing, right? But as a chef, I style my food because that's my food. And no one can present it better than me or anyone else. Like, if you're a chef, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You should present your food. You could take the guidance, but you should not hire any stylist. I don't know. I'm not against of anything, but this is your pride, this is your pride. You know you cook that food and you want to present it your way. So again, there are some rule books. As I said, garnish is very important. I would not want to say garnish. That word is, I think, a little passe. Now we should talk about the elements. Now we have the focus dish, and we have a lot of elements. Sometimes you have single component dish. As I said, the chai kabo is just a bar. There is nothing else. So, but it's precise. Each and everything you are doing has to be that quality in terms of not only the food quality. I'm talking about the visual effect to it, the presentation, the color, how you are presenting that. Everything should come together. So coming back to your question, as I said, when I'm cooking in bar, things are very simple. When we talked about the paneer pinur, again, I started the dish when I was at Egg Bar, when we started doing the Egg Bar. But it's really working well in US because, the paneer we get here is not as good as India, right? So you have to serve it somehow. It's really stays soft and it's also appealing to everyone because, here you get 100 types of cheese. If you say cottage cheese, people are not excited. Maybe Indian origin, the Indians, they will love it, but what's about the others? So give them something. I have to play with the presentation. I have to play with how I can make it better, how I can make it, keep it consistent. That is also thing. So as I said, my makni gravy here, we don't use any colorings or anything. Normally in India, because it's chicken, I don't do, that I don't have to tell you this. But our gravy or the butter chicken, I use red pepper, charred red pepper, take the skin out. This goes into that. And then we really emulsify the gravy. Every time you have a base gravy which is cooked, passed with fine chinois, and these are the technique coming from my Michelin background, how to do mashed potato, how to do sauce, how to emulsify the sauce. So exactly same. We are emulsifying the sauce before it goes onto the plate. So there's no oil floating on top. That the color is amazing, the consistency is good. So all these things. So this is backed by technique. But as I said, we do very simple thing. I do simple green chickpea chaat. But if you look at it, it looks a little different. It's look so exciting because of course we add little new things to it. But if you dig in, you are getting the same chaat. As simple as that. Sometimes I only highlight the ingredients. I don't do nothing. I don't do much. Just highlight the ingredients because nature, it gives you so much. And now you look at the radishes, you look at the greens, you look at so many things. And trust me, I think the plating Indian food is the hardest job for any chef.
Very true.
And that's why your cuisine has to progress with your plating and everything. Be very honest, if you just want to do like, if you were doing, suppose, Rogan Josh, how are you going to plate it? Unless until you change. I'm not talking about changing the flavors. I'm talking about changing the components. How are you going to do that, right? So I have a dish, the Delhi used to do that, now we are not. It's a butter chicken. But, doing a butter chicken in Delhi is always exciting because you are going to land a butter chicken and creating something different. So that's on my Instagram. I could have done through the picture, but I don't know how to do that. So when you look at the dish, it's different parts of chicken. You have chicken breast, you have chicken thighs, which is again cooked through it. We have chicken wings, and then we have we have a kind of a very crispy bread kind of thing, which gives you a sense of not naan, I don't want to say that, but a crisp which can go with that and the sauce. So, and Also, instead of adding the butter, we just add a little bit of fenugreek and butter powder. So all the components are same. But when you look at it, it's more balanced, it's more thrilling, it's more exciting, That's I would say. But you can create, a lot of times I follow people on Instagram, they're home chefs. Trust me, the dishes, the presentation they do now. I follow someone from Odisha. She does amazing things. Before what used to happen. Now, when you look at jalebi, you used to pay for jalebi, right? I want to eat that, right? When you used to look at biryani, I said, I want to eat that. That's craving. I think that is missing nowadays. So that's why I understand that to real food presentation, it's never going to be, it's going to be appealing to our eyes, but it will be not exciting, not going to excite your taste bud, not going to exciting for you to go and try. So sometimes, you're eating a burger, your cheese is coming out, all the juices, so that's also exciting. So it's not fine dining is the only way to present your dish. It's all about what you want to do. What is your approach to the food? What type of food you want to cook? What is your strength? I think that's more important than just getting something and take a picture and post it somewhere where there is no heart and soul. There is no connect with the dish. That's very important.
So, chef, you use a lot of modern techniques. So, when we talk about modern techniques, say for example, sous vide. So, is it very important and necessary to have a sous vide machine to cook a sous vide, or anyone can do it? Even for the students, this I'm asking on behalf of students also. They think that okay, these Michelin star chefs and these very renowned restaurants, they have that kind of necessary equipments to come up with those kind of finishes, those kind of dishes and end products. So is it that necessary, or it's just about learning the process and we can still do it at our homes also?
Right. When we talk about sous vide never, the sous vide machine never invented to start in the restaurant. It started in medical professions, right? Because I used to, as I said, I used to sell sous vide machine as well, water baths. And that time I used to live in UK. I used to sell something called Julabo. They are the market leader of, medical equipment. And their water baths, sous vide is two things. Sous vide means cooking under vacuum, right? That is. So you need two things. One is vacuum packing or vacuum sealing machine, and another one is water baths. So then I used to sell those things. I used to come to India and I used to sell, but that time it used to be so expensive. And their machine is not a vacuum pack machine. I was talking about the water baths, right? So again, vacuum pack machine they used to use that in a lot of industries, right? So not only that, these are tools of the trade. You need this to create that kind of food. Also, a lot of customized molds. That's very, very, very important. A lot of silicon molds. You have to work with engineers to develop those molds to give you something which is never done before. I think about Alenia. They have the engineers. They're working for them for product development. I wanted to do the same thing in India too. I'm working on it. Because think about it. I want to serve you as a mouse bros. I want to serve you a tamarind. You look into a tamarind, you pick up and eat. Basically, that's a chocolate. How that's possible? You need that precise mold which looks like tamarind, right? But sous vide, as you mentioned, now sous vide is not for Michelin, it's for everywhere. Most of the people here, they're cooking in sous vide at home. You can control sous vide machine with your phone. You have a small vacuum, but now I've just seen something. This is a small vacuum pack machine. It's just like it's only 4 inches, like a speaker. And
like a sealer that we get it in Haldiram, we kind of
that is a big machine. That is not vacuum sealing. Okay. That is the sealer machine. Vacuum sealing means unless until you vacuum seal, you cannot cook it in water baths, right? It will float on water. That's not going to work. So you need a vacuum sealing machine. So I've just seen new technology. When I get a chance, I'll look at it. I'll send you guys. So it's like a 4-inch box machine, and then you can just vacuum seal and small pipe going into your bag. You just need vacuum sealing. Also, you have a small vacuum sealer now, which are not expensive at all. And also now, sous vide machine, which you can, and you can control that with your phone or your app. Not expensive. I think here is maybe $300. So it's just 25,000. But of course, if you think about the plating and presentation, you need precision, right? You don't need overcooked food. You need, so that helps a lot. Also, customized molds, that helps a lot too. I have lots and lots of those kind of things. Not only that, you need high quality blenders. You need emulsifiers. So these are the things I get, and they're in a package to do ice and sorbets. So we have all the equipments in Delhi too. So after these lockdowns, you can get your students there. Then see, these are the things talking sometimes doesn't help. You have to look at it. So as I said, Delhi, we have each and every ingredients and equipment. We are lucky. That's the bridge between Delhi and US, because here everything is available at your doorstep. So I carry whenever I go to India. That's why we can create that kind of food, to be very honest. But these are the things you need to create that wow factor. But again, as I said, you want to style a burger, you don't need anything else maybe. But if you want to get into that, you want to create something that kind of food or that level, you need all this. And trust me, all the top restaurants in the world, they use the same kind of things. So there are some brands, I'll tell you. One is a sous vide machine. You can do any sous vide machine, vacuum sealing machine. But multivac is really great. I use Juliver Diamond for the water bath. That's very expensive, but you can use any one of them. Thermomix, Vitamix, Hacojet, Bamix for my emulsifier. That's come from Switzerland. So these are the company I wanted to work with, and I will, first time I opened my company in India, and I was doing demo in Ahar in 2000. I think I forgot it. That didn't work well. But these are the things. It's so precise because that's top restaurant in the world. They use the same brands, and then you get the same consistency, and that make magic of it.
Great. So, chef, in your menu, I have also seen a separate menu for pairing of. There's a wheel that is there, so whatever dish you eat, you have to pair it with such. So, do you suggest individual pairings based on the dishes that the customer demands, or it's for their reference that they can have anything from that menu?
See, that menu you have seen, that is a cocktail wheel. So now you think about presentation as you talk about it with the cocktail as well, because the food and drinks goes together, right? So now I worked in a top cocktail bar in the world when I was in London. I was lucky enough to work with top bartender in the world. They are now really big. So the same technique, same idea. You see, look at the cocktail, look at our cocktail. When we opened Egg Bar, we started that. But then now, if you look at our cocktail pictures, the technique, the idea at Drew in New Delhi, we follow the same philosophy. So these techniques are not only limited to the plates now. It's again, it's now to your glass, or what you call it, to your cocktail. So what you mentioned, there is a cocktail wheel. So we present it that way because it's based on taste of Ayurveda. So you have 6 different tastes in Ayurveda, right? So cocktails got the flavors of it. It's nothing to do with Ayurveda never tell you to drink alcohol, but this is the flavors, So if I do something with mango, it can be sour or it can be sweet. If you use green mango, it will be sour. If you use ripe mango, it will be sweet, right? What goes really well with sweet? It can be salt in cocktail. At the same time, sour, it can be a little bit of chili. It can be heat. So that's how we created that food. Now we're talking about our tasting menu. Of course, we have veg and non-veg, and people choose what they want, but they don't choose the dishes. They choose veg and non-veg.
Yes.
It's like, the most of the restaurants in the world, why they are doing tasting menu? Because if you want to continue with that kind of plating techniques, that kind of consistency, you cannot do that with a la carte and large menu. It's not possible. So they are controlling the diner. I have a 17-course menu or 20-course menu or 15-course menu. This is what I do. Everything is precise. Everything is counted. And I am serving it to you. So I am controlling the diner. And in a la carte restaurant, the diners, they come and say, okay, I want this in this way or that way. Then I'm not going to say that plating and presentation not going to work there, but there will be some limitation. The creating that wow factor with a large menu, what people are choosing, what they want, but we have to find a middle ground as well. So that's why um, Rue and Chicago and San Francisco, we do testing menu as well as a la carte, but our menu is shorter based on the ingredients, best quality ingredients. So that's how we can maintain that. But of course, our tasting menu, the presentations, the position, everything is, I think, a level up than a la carte. Same thing at New Delhi as well. If you're eating our 13 code tasting menu, everything is precise. Everything gonna excite you. Everything is presented. But a la carte, we have to take a middle ground approach, right? We have to find out the middle ground where, and we think about the quality, we think about the consistency. Also, there we compromise a little bit of plating and presentation because, but still we are not that far from our testing menu. So you'll get a sense of, I'm going to say, you can relate both of them, but of course, the testing menu is going to be more precise and presented very well.
Great. So, Chef, before going to our next topic, which is the menu planning, we have a question from Mr. Pradeep Mazumdar. So he's asking that, okay, he's a fellow Bengali from the charming Himachal Hills. So
Right.
he said that in today's times of blast frozen and ready to eat packaged food on retail shelves that is available, where do you find the commercial future of food styling and food merchandising?
Right, I think it's a very good question because it's completely different when you're eating in restaurants nowadays, top quality restaurant, and when you are buying frozen food, right? And most of the people, we do both the things, right? Sometimes we go to supermarket, buy things, reheat. Technology, and I think this is evolving. Before, you used to get only, if you talk about Indian cuisine, only curry and rice, frozen box. I think about when last time I went to UK, it was 2003. I used to buy those box, put in the microwave and eat. There is no fun. But now, but the frozen food, I don't know, uh, how you can really present well the frozen food. Of course, you can do the sweets, the other things, the dessert. But savory food, how you can frozen, can you keep it frozen? I say yes. Now, if you look at it, a lot of meal plan, right? And of course, in this pandemic, a lot of, now that is the main focus. How you can and use this opportunity to create something better. I think things are working on, and again, the same thing. I think it's not mixed. Everything is now in smaller quantity, so you can reheat and assemble. That is, I think, can work in frozen food too. Of course, the ready-to-eat food. People are paying a lot more attention now. It's not just a packet of something you're putting there. People are getting more health conscious, so you have to get fresh food. So when you work with fresh food, of course, the color, the presentation, everything you can control. It's much easier, right? So the future is that, I think, you believe it or not, that's where we are going towards it. And also a lot of artificial intelligence, I would say, come to play. So a lot of things you will see is going to be pre-engineered. You don't have to think about it. Somebody will tell you how to do this. Very honest, and that will happen. And I was lucky enough. I was working with a company. I cannot take the name for the next level of food, packaged food, and how to use this AI and how to create the new things. But the project is on hold now. But again, that is the future. But
Chef,
Should your voice went off?
yeah,
hello.
I can. Yeah.
Yes, Chef. Now it's clear. Thank you, Chef.
So as I said, that we so far what happened, we tend to neglect frozen food, the presentation aspect of it, right? But as I said, this is the future. In COVID, most of the people, they are living on frozen food or ready to eat food. So now, even we started doing delivery, and I never ever thought I would do delivery. And how to eat that 4-course or 5-course meal, beautifully presented meal, and that you start thinking about it. I know you have done it. Because again, when you pay attention to something, you come out with a solution or the ideas, and that will happen. I think that's why to answer that question, it's not easy. But this is a starting point to well presented frozen food or ready to food. I think people will pay attention now. Of course, after COVID, and in this time, and we'll come out with something amazing. So that I think that is going to be the future of food trend as well.
Okay, great, Chef. We have a question from Mr. Mohammed Kaleem. He says that what, according to you, is important, which is to be considered to open a new restaurant in the city, other than the points that we already read in the books and it's already documented. So, what is that 3-4 main things that is not there in the books but is very important for us to know when those who are opening a restaurant?
I think, I don't know. I never read anything before I open restaurant. I think if you're opening something, better you should know your demographics. You should know the city. It's very, very, very important. Eating habit of the people. And you should know your books. You should know how the accountings and how things are. Before opening any restaurant, you should be profitable theoretically on your books. Then you should start thinking about it. If you are not profitable on your business plan, then no point of applying. Sometimes your business plan can be profitable, but with open restaurants, it may not, right? But your theory, your business plan is not profitable, no point. But as I said, you have to be there. Market research is very important, and you should work on your strength first. What you know, what is your strength? If I am good, and if I think I'm good at Indian food or new Indian food, that's why I opened this. I never opened something Japanese. I really like eating Japanese food, but I have no clue. It's not 100% I have no clue, but I'm not good at it. I have no expertise in that. So, that is the thing. And also, you need your team. Of course, you will see all these things in the books. I don't know what is. I never read any books before I open restaurants, so it's very difficult to answer the question. But as I said, you should go and live in that city if you can for a bit of a time before you open restaurant. Very important. Very, very, very important. Otherwise, it's. I don't think it's possible. The menus, the this and that. That's comes at a later stage. But you have to create and restaurant. These are different questions. It's not only about food. We don't go to restaurant just because of food. Of course, we go to some restaurant just because of food. But most of the restaurant is now kind of lifestyle. That's why you want to go there. And that's why what we created, or I created, because I'm involved in design of the restaurant, not only the food, from design, from branding, from business plan, from everything, from start to finish. So that's why you have more control over the brand. So the food is the end product. People come to restaurant first they look at the ambient, decor. What is the design? Then they look at your cocktail menu. Then they look at your plates, your glassware. You speak to your servers, or then the food comes. Right? They know if I'm going to a restaurant where the chefs got the credibility, I will get good food. But still, they're getting that food at the end. So you have to keep all this thing in mind. I'm not saying all the place should look like Taj Mahal or something. No, but you can do very simple thing. But which should go with your branding? It should go with your, it's 360 degree approach to everything, from your branding, from your weight, from your design, from your menu design, from your plate, from your glassware, from each cutlery, from your serviette, adding or your uniform for your staff. So I think now it's so simple and straightforward. Still, you can create that magic without spending so much money or without getting into, I would say, unnecessary things. It's more like less is more. But
would like to add to it, Chef. In the videos I've seen that there are some diners who are dining in at your restaurants, and they kind of show what they have actually paid at the end of the meal that they have consumed. So I guess a restaurant should be such wherein it should fit in, the menu should fit in, or the dishes should fit into each and every pocket, be it a middle class level, and it applies to Delhi. I don't know about San Francisco, but it creates a lot of impact when you have a dish in a $3 or $4 bracket, and anyone from the middle class level to the elite class level can actually go to Chef Sujan's restaurant and have a dining experience. So in Delhi also, in NCR also, there should be something for everyone in that particular menu, so that we can manage to actually go and visit that restaurant and experience what kind of cuisine they are serving, because that's the first contact that is very difficult, and it makes a lot of difference.
I think, in a restaurant, as I said, you go to a restaurant, you know exactly where to go, right? And think about it, if you go into which restaurant, I should take a name. When you go to Bukhara, you know exactly what you're going to
Yes.
get. And dish prices, menu prices are not only based on, menu prices not only based on the chef or just making it expensive. It's all about what type of ingredients you are using, right? It's all about what types of service you are getting. It's all about what is the value altogether. So see, the restaurants we are running, it's not expensive, but it's not cheap either because the quality of ingredients we buy. So we have to think about, we have to understand one thing, it's more about the West, people think Indian food is cheap. You know what? Because they think they can use only cheap ingredients. But look at our menu. Even from, especially curated caviar, I have everything. And it's not, I want to just show up, but we can use that. It goes well with some flavors. That's what I'm doing. But India also is a little different because what you are talking about restaurant within a restaurant, that I think very difficult to do. I think running a restaurant in India is very expensive. The quality restaurant, because of the service, because of a lot of how in a restaurant, to open a restaurant, you need a lot of things, in terms of real estate, in terms of taxation, in terms of now the salary, we pay a really good salary to our staff as well. And also the real estate is very expensive. So the business should be, and at the end, your margin is 10 to 12%. If you're lucky, you can be 15%. But if you look into the restaurants in India, like where there is no alcohol, there is more for, I'm not going to say upper class or middle class, even I go to all the restaurants, I think their profit pricing is higher because they don't have to pay those surcharges, I would say. So I think some restaurants for special occasions, some restaurants are for everyday affair, and I think there is a place for both. And if I get an opportunity, I want to do something which is for everyone, a simple and straightforward food. Hopefully we'll do it sooner than later.
If I may add something, I think also that, it's not possible for a restaurateur to start, pleasing all pockets. It would be very difficult. And I think, in Europe, for instance, and even when I'm in Delhi, there are restaurants that I don't go every week because they are expensive. Right. And so I go maybe once a month or one every 6 months. If I want to have a brunch at the Oberoi, it's 6,000 rupees, tax inclusive, for champagne brunch. I don't go every Sunday. I kind of, wait for it. And it's fun also because then you are enjoying the experience. In Europe, when you have 3-star Michelin's restaurant or in the US where you pay 300 euros per person for a meal, it's obviously something you can't do every day. So I think there are different type of restaurants for different type of occasions. Some people can afford it on daily basis, some other can't, and can only do it in a few days in a year. But I think it should be that way because, like Sujan said, you can't buy cod at $80 a kg and sell it for $2. I mean, it's not happening. Otherwise, you are not running a viable business. So I think there are occasions where you go to restaurant, and that should be the way it is. And it's fun to wait and expect that meal that you're going to have. And I think that whole, concept of going to a restaurant should be that way also. We should keep that in mind that we are going to a
That
special.
excitement.
Yeah, and I think we can't discuss the price. I think the price is according to whatever you get in your plate and whatever the overhead is globally. So that's.
And also nowadays, the diners, they are well educated. You cannot sell them any cheap things in higher price. Somehow you have to upgrade that. If you are, then you have to create something different which that excites them, or you have to use top quality ingredients, and that comes hand in hand. Then only the diners, they will pay the price. Otherwise, they know what they are, they want to go and spend money. As I said, if you go to a price for 6,000, you are still getting value of that 6,000. Someplace you can do that in maybe 300 rupees. But that a different kind of place. You may enjoy both the places, but in a different kind of scenario, different kind of
But still, chef, it is very affordable when we see the menu prices. The food of that quality, how do you manage it to be so affordable? Be it the Chicago menu.
As I said, San Francisco, just where the Ruiz, just one block, the restaurant called Saison. They are the most expensive restaurant in the United States. It's almost, after you pay your gratuity and everything, it's gonna cost you paired with wine. The basic wine is gonna be $800. $800, and that place is booked out 2 months in advance. So there are enough people to go and eat. So we are mid-range, we are affordable, but we are not, as I said, we are not, our dishes are not $5 or $6. We have starters starting from 11 till 21. Of course, our main courses are later, of course, higher. Because of the ingredients also here is expensive, but you get that quality ingredients. But except for Delhi, our tasting menu is 3,200 rupees. But there you get a 13 course, which is you get Australian lamb chop or sea bass, which is very expensive, but I think India, we face these challenges. You use something imported, you don't know the quality unless until you keep using it, because it looks so good. When you open the packet, it may be different. So these are the things, it will go up and down, but I think all of our restaurants are affordable in that bracket. I'm not going to say affordable for maybe everyone, but it's not, the price is not that he can't even afford that. Maybe, as Laura mentioned, that you have to be,
It's
that,
very for that particular dish. Okay. So
Chef, we have a question coming in from Mr. Jendra Kumar. He's asking a question that what makes a dish great? And what's the process that you normally follow to reach that level? That greatness in the dish?
Yeah, that's a tough question. It depends. For me, maybe just little biryani is great. I love it. There is no presentation, nothing. But sometimes, when you think about it, this question you have to answer from one is your diner, from the customer point of view, another side is from the chef point of view, who's creating that dish, right? So all of us want to create great dishes, right? But as I said, you have to be true to yourself. You should know what you're creating. Are you convinced with this? Most of the time we serve dishes which we are not convinced. Just for the presentation, we do something, and then when you serve it a guest, that's why I always say, the dish you're serving, will you gonna finish it? Will you gonna finish it happily? Are you excited about your dish? And do you eat that dish every day or all the time? So these are the questions you have to answer. If you as a chef, you're creating the dish. If the dish you are convinced, you think, from presentation point of view, from the flavor, from everything is great, then it's great. It's no point of arguing. But then the customer point of view is completely different. For them, it's kind of expectation. They come to a restaurant, and nowadays everything is on social media. Before, what used to happen? You don't know what you are going for. So it's much easier to surprise you. But nowadays, you see everything on social media before you come to restaurants. So it's very difficult. Now, talking about the great dish, it depends on what is your expectation. It can be from presentation point of view. It can be from excitement. It can be from flavors. It can be from your liking. See, all these things, when all these things come together, then it's wow. But I think what is the great dish for me? When you take something which is traditional, which is your memory, and create something different. As I said, I give you example. I have so many examples. We do something called rasmalai. That's true. You eat the rasmalai, is the lightest rasmalai so far, as I have seen. Lighter rasmalai. But that is not rasmalai. But when you eat that, the flavor, the look, everything is rasmalai. But that is not rasmalai. So then that dish is kind of a great because you are eating the same dish. You don't know what you are eating, but you are eating rasmalai, which is okay. I think is much better, but it is not. So these are the things can create a great dish. It's excitement and all these other things I just mentioned.
Okay, so we have a lot of requests coming in, Chef, for the photographs, or if you can just share your presentation. So I guess we'll try it at the end of the day, since Sahil is here. I guess he'll help you with this. So we'll give him the right, Sunil,
Or you
Chef.
can, the very, you can look into my Instagram. That is you can get updated pictures
Great,
here.
great.
All of them are there. And the good part about Instagram, when I started, what type of presentation I used to do, and now how the presentations are evolving, how the Barbara presentation is different than do Chicago, do San Francisco presentation is different than do New Delhi. So I think that's a great canvas, that you can go and look at it, scroll around and see. And I should have said that, but if you follow me, you will see my story. I put a lot of things on the story about the ingredients, about the this and that. So you can get an idea. That is kind of life. It's not a one-day business. It's just nothing. You can, follow hundreds of chefs. They are doing amazing work in India and abroad. A lot of them are doing so good. I follow them. So I would say that's the best platform. Be very honest. And you can send me message, anything I can reply, and we can do this session in every 6 months. And as I said, when I'm in Delhi, you guys feel free to come down and have a look what we do. We can do a session out of it because talking sometimes doesn't help. I can, but why I'm talking about root, as I said, I have all the, so I can show you exactly how things can be.
That would be great. That would be great, Chef.
I
So,
have the Instagram page live in case you want. We can have a look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, please, Chef Sunil.
Yeah, just a second.
A lot of attendees are asking about the presentation that he does.
Right. Is the page visible?
As of now, no, Chef. Yes.
Yeah, now yes.
Chef?
So this is the same, Chef. That besan one and the suji one. Is this the one, that opera one?
No, yeah, there is no suji in that. This is Besan Burfi opera. We just see, as I said, each and every dish I do, there is some connect to any of the Indian dishes. I don't do random dishes and call it Indian food. That is the difference. But everything, all the dishes, there is something new. You see, there is so many layers of it. How the opera is made. We have, we are using pistachio sponge and then we have very thin layers of besan burfi. We have thin layers of chocolate, and that's layer after layer, and that's you get really thin sliver of it. And then we are serving that with brown butter ice cream, and also we made that is a kind of a twill or a crisp we call it. As I said, this is came out from silicone mold. Very easy to do, but without that mold, nothing gonna happen. And we have some gels on that. It's complete dish is kind of a basin burfi opera with all this, which really goes well. Why those gels there? Because to cut down the richness of there is kind of citrus gel, so cut down the richness of the basin burfi is really heavy and so that's why those are there. But you see the presentation is very clean. I'm not hiding any of the component of it, right? And you can see that how is that, and we serve it exactly same way actually. We play with the garnish, but you will, get it exactly the same.
Chef, can we have some other tips also, Sunil, Chef?
Sure.
Yeah, we can talk. But if you scroll down, I'll tell you which one to stop, so you get the side
Sure.
of it. Now this is a video.
Should I go back to the video? The audio will be
Okay.
a problem there.
Right. So it's okay. So this is one of the dish from new location, the Palo Alto. So this is a kebab cooked on wood fire, but this is a short fish kebab. So that's why I'm showing the short fish and the kebab next to each other. And this is on skewer. You can see short fish. It's a short fish tikka, but it's done with white miso and Bengal mustard. And of course, on top, you have different condiments and the garnish. You see, we are serving that with pickled shallot, what is it called, fennel, prawns, and we have two different kind of sauces on top. So again, this is very simple. This is a tikka, but it's done in that.
Right. Meals.
This is the dish bar. You see, this is from Roo. It's little complicated. This is a replica of bone, but this is a dark galoti. So basically, this is a palm heart. Inside, you have dark galoti, and then next to that is a different kind of pickle, and you have different kind of carrots. That's carrot pickle. Then you have the oxalis sorrel, and then and at the side we have also this is a sauce. It's made out. This is a layers of this more made out of cylinder. Simple and straightforward. Of course, we serve that these days with um, bread, of course. Shirmal, that's more like a waffle. A shape like heart shape waffle. It's not there, but it's in different picture.
Sunil Chef, I guess there is a lot more to
Yes.
see what we make. So I guess we'll just try to wrap it up with the last point of ours, which is menu planning.
Yeah, we just wrap it up. See, this is from Barbar. It's very simple dish. That was a kind of a cross between jalebi and churros.
Churros.
Sitting on a thandai asada. So thandai, how you do, you have poppy seed, you have black pepper, you have almond milk and all this. And then this is a kind of thandai kasata that is sitting on top of it with a little bit of the rose syrup and that. So see, this is nothing can be as simple as this, but it's still appealing, right?
Yes.
Look at so that's why my presentation are not static. There's different types. There's some complicated presentation as well, but there is some simple as this.
So, Chef, talking about planning of a menu, there is one question related to it from Wilson Pele, trying to ask what importance does menu engineering holds, and do you kind of changes the location of the dishes where it is placed in the menu, or are there some low profit, low margin dishes, or how do you handle it? Are every dishes eaten by or consumed by the audience, or if not, then what do you do with those dishes? What is your take?
Right. Think about it in a menu. Of course, there will be some dishes we're going to sell a lot, right? In some dishes, you have to still do it because otherwise, what's the point of menu? You can do single dish restaurant. Some dishes on the menu is your interpretation of what you think, your thought process. Some of the menu for people who are coming there want to dine, you have to satisfy them as well. So it has to be combination, right? So think about menu planning gonna be different in San Francisco, in Chicago, in New York, of course, in Delhi. It's not gonna be the same based on the demographic, what people like. See, in Delhi, if I start doing what other people can do better than me, if I start selling those in the restaurant like Roo, I don't think that's going to work. But also in my menu, there is a butter chicken, but my version of it. So I think we have to find the balance. When you're planning the menu, of course, seasonality, it's our menu is not too big. We have to understand nowadays, if you want to create that kind of cuisine which is cooked in your kitchen, nothing is coming from outside, and which has that kind of fitness, that kind of understanding, you cannot run with a massive menu. Also, when San Francisco, you get amazing produce. Chicago, you may get something different in winter. New York, you may get something different. So our menu are based on that. Delhi, again, our menu is based on what you get there. So these are the things. Profitability, of course. All the dishes not going to give you same kind of margin. It will be high profit and low profit, but that is the menu mix, right? That's the menu engineering we are talking about. And also presentation point of view, everything you have to look into it. And when you plan the menu, of course, the focus should be what type of restaurant you are, right? If you are not looking, we are not going to a restaurant like you and looking for burger. If I create a burger, it has to be that. So, but again, the same thing happens. I do simple dal here as well. It's presented very simple way, but people ask, dal you can get everywhere. I think it's not good dal. It's not. In many places, better in the United States. But again, as I said, our menu also an introduction. What you do to the community who not many people who never tried Indian food. So for them, I have to also find a balance, right? So menu should be like that. It should be exciting. It should be profitable. It should be a good mix. It should be seasonal. Very important. And again, the confidence part comes. That you have to be really confident what you're putting in the menu. If everything comes together, then you're doing it.
Great. Do we have any other questions or any other questions from panelists, please? Sunil Chef?
I guess, Chef, we are done. Yeah, one interesting question came in. How soon do you think, Chef, that the AI can take over the plating? So I found this question very interesting. Came a while back.
Artificial intelligence can take over.
Yeah, see, as I said, I started working with a company in San Francisco regarding that, and they are more in trial stage. Not about the dishing more; is more about for office canteen and all this. But it will happen, It will happen because everyone is looking for position, and then here, I don't know how many people they want to work in hospitality after this COVID happened because we are badly hit, right? So it can be a new thing, but I don't think it's going to be that far out. As I said, some projects are already on. Of course, they're just a starting point, but it will grow. I think, as you know, when first phone came in, we never knew we were going to have this kind of technology in a phone, right? So same thing with the food, how it's moving fast, it will be, sooner than later.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Good morning, Chef.
Good morning.
Looks like you're a whiskey drinker the way you are drinking from the glass.
Yeah, water,
Right now it's water, right? Chef, I just wanted to ask, you have been very nice articulating about the menu, the dishes, your business also. So can you tell us about your transition from a student to the chef to the business person as you are? A little bit so that the hospitality students get some feel of it, that how to progress,
Yeah, I think it's a great question. Yeah, the transition is very important. First, when I started, as I said, after my college, I started in JW Marriott. I learned a lot. I used to go. Then I moved to UK, did the same thing. I never thought about a restaurant or something. I was just, not going to say the word mastering on my skill. I was learning more and more and more. So when at the stage, I know that I can cook. I can cook and people are liking my food. The basic thing of every restaurant that food people should like. Of course, they should like other things I mentioned. Food is okay, everything is good. People may come back twice, but your food is amazing, then people will come back. So first you have to master your skill, what your core competence, right? Then from there, as I said, I didn't be a chef. I was more keen on design part of it when I was in school. Before I, started my hotel school, I always wanted to be a designer. And I follow design trend, the world, and all this. Then I started looking into restaurant design. I was looking into how the cost factor works. It's not only opening a restaurant to be profitable, and also teamwork. I'm really lucky. I would say I'm fortunate. I am working with amazing talents, and they are most of them from India, and that's why I'm lucky. That's why you opened something in Delhi to even I learn a lot. So as I said, first to learn, then master your skill, then you explore. When you know you are good at it, then you explore other side of it. Like if you are good at cooking, now you can look into the design part. You can look into the finance, how things work. Then building the team, and it will follow. That's how I've done. That's it. But still, I'm in the kitchen when I'm in the restaurants. Maybe daytime I'm busy with other things, but with the kitchen, you're not going to see me just sitting in a restaurant when restaurant is busy, or even in Delhi also. When I'm there, I'm in the kitchen. Yeah, sometimes I have to move out or do something else. But again, as I said, the core is cooking all the time, and then everything's come together.
Great. I guess we should wrap up. It's midnight there, Chef, if I'm not wrong. Thank you so much, Chef, for coming in and spending your time with us. For the attendees, we have Chef Nishant Chaube, who is the corporate chef of San Tokyo, will be coming in and sharing their views about sustainability and trend.
Right.
You also, if you have time, please join us, Chef.
Yeah, this is the time. There's nothing. But again, as I said, we just started opening our restaurant. All of our US restaurants are open now, so that's a good thing. We started doing, going step by step. It's super busy, trust me. And if you get a chance, Nishant is a very good friend. Be very honest, and a great chef. He has done really well. So yeah. And as I said, when lockdown is over, everything's get back to normal. As I said, I travel Delhi. I used to travel Delhi every month. Now it's not happening. When I'm there, I think your students, they can come with you guys, and then we can do kind of a workshop, and that will help you a lot, give you insight of what is going on. And I think
We'll
if you
certainly
can inspire,
do that. That will be a great.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Sujan. Cheers.
Thank you so much, Chef.
Take care, Chef.
Thank you, Chef.
Bye bye.
Bye, Chef. Thank you.
Thank you very much for being a part of it. You'll be receiving the link for tomorrow's session in your mail probably by 2 o'clock, and the feedback will also coming in sometime. Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.